And if you do make it, there is a good chance that you will become paraplegic, and that actually would be best case scenario. And they wanted me to call my parents, and I refused. And I refused because I didn't want the whole thing to be over emotional, and I didn't really want to put my parents in a position of being really quite disturbed. And so it was that I went into the chamber, and actually really it was one of the most painful experiences I have ever had, because while I was at surface level, before I went into the chamber, I was in pain. But when you go under the water, for every metre or 10 metres that you go down, it's as if more weight is placed on your body. And when you go into the hyperbaric chamber, they take you back down to the lowest depths that you went to on that dive. So I only dived up to 18 metres, which is a really, by international standards, not deep at all. But when you imagine that for every metre you go down, it doubles the immensity of your pain, so that lower and lower you go in the tank, the more and more painful it is a nightmare. And there were points when the pain was so overwhelming and the pain so intense that actually closing my eyes and going to sleep and never waking up would actually be far more preferable than life. And when I was in the chamber, which if you imagine looks like a small tiny nugget of a submarine with these big handles porthole type doors that they used to open and close to get you in and out. And you're in this tiny, tiny, tiny space for 7 days, and you've got, actually I found out it was a not Formula One, those planes. Anyway, a big aeroplane face mask strapped to your face so they can pump oxygen into you, and you've got drips hanging out of your arms, and you're writhing in pain, and all you can see is bronze metal, gold coloured metal, and people who have been in there before you have been in so much pain that their fingernail marks have scratched into the metal because they are so in pain that they have worn down their fingers trying to write to get these tiny little gas bubbles out of their arms. And the whole time you are shivering, and the whole time it's intense, and the whole time you think the best case scenario is going to